All right, so in this video, we're going to take a little bit of a deeper dive into session view. As mentioned in the overview video, there's not a whole lot that you're going to do in this particular view, but it is worth noting that there are a couple useful things you can do with it, and how to navigate it, because I prefer to use this particular view when I'm building tracks. It's easier to kind of see it where everything's going, routing and things like that. So when I'm building, when I'm importing tracks or I'm building tracks or I'm manipulating the tracks from multi-tracks, whatever, I like to use this view because it's just you can just see things better in this view. So with that being said, as I mentioned in the overview video, you have different types of tracks available to you. You got MIDI, audio, and return tracks. You can watch the overview video for an explanation of those. Down here, you've got your audio input source. So in this particular case, your MIDI tracks are going to, they're obviously coming from MIDI. Your audio tracks will come from the audio input that you have routed to you. In a worship setting, you will almost never have anything input unless you're recording something. Your output on the track, again, you're going to route your MIDI to something. Your audio is either going to be sent to your master or is going to be sent to your external outs that you have routed, going to your interface, which goes back to your soundboard. So I'm going to go ahead, well, I won't go to that yet. So yeah, so let's just say we're going to send this track to output number 1, and we're going to send this track to output number 2. So now you've got your routing set up for these two particular tracks. As I mentioned in the overview video, you can send things to the return tracks by turning the knob up and down, just like that. These are your enable, disable of your tracks right here. So say, this is some obnoxious synth or something that you don't want in your song. You just click that guy. Now he's off. You don't have to worry about him being there anymore. I'm going to go ahead and load. So I have a template file that I created that basically has a track mapping, a couple some clicks. There it is, new song template. Don't save this guy. Session view. So I have a template that looks like this. This is, my new song template. So whenever I'm creating a new song, I kind of have things pre-built out. That way I can drag them into other sets as need be. So where arrangement view really, the one cool thing you can do with arrangement view is if you wanted to just fire dry click, right? So say you don't want to run tracks, you don't want to run click, you don't have a Dr. Beats, you don't have a metronome on an iPad, or even if you do and you just, you want to make it cleaner, you could come in here and you could do something like this. So you notice I have a click track right here. These are MIDI tracks that I have pre-built, and basically they're just click samples. So I've got one built for 4/4, 3/4, 6/8, and 2/4. So so what you can do, we'll just take the 4/4 one for instance. So you can come over here to master, and you can say, all right, I need a click that's 80 beats per minute and in 4/4. So we're going to come over here to master. We're going to right click this guy. We're going to go to rename, or you could do Control R or Command R on Mac. Or Windows. So we're going to say we want him to be 80 BPM at 4/4. So now if I go click that guy, now if you notice my default tempo changed from 120 to 80, and now I have a click on a loop that will run forever until I tell it to stop. So you can pre-populate, 3, 4 songs, whatever you want to do. Oops, wrong one. So we're going to put that guy right there. You don't have to have all these here. I'm just leaving them here for example. But if you were to do something like this in Service, you would stack up whatever you want here. So we could have, all right, we're going to have a song 2. Song 2 is going to be, I don't know, 75 BPM in 6/8, since that's my 6/8 track. And then let's just say song 4. We're going to speed up song 4. Let's just call song 4 115 BPM. And that's going to be in 4/4. So so now we have three different clicks. So we have one at 80, we have one in 6/8 at 75, and then we have one at 115 at 44. So so what you can do with this is you can key map here. So we're going to come up here and going to do a key map. So we're going to say this is song 1. So we're going to hit button number 1 or key number 1, number 2, and number 3. So now we're going to say, all right, song 1. So we do song 1. Song 1 plays until we're done. Song 2, you can stop it, you can start it, but now song 2, we can go, roll right into song 2. No changes. Now this is where, like an iPad or a Dr. Beats, you have to change the tempo and things like that. You just basically push a button right here, and then we're going to roll into song 3 at 115. And there we go. So yeah, so again, there's not a ton of stuff that you can do in Session View, but this is one of the really cool things that you can do if you just want to run a dry click. The other thing I want to show you is the routing real quick. So we're just going to load Living Hope since it's right there, and we're going to go to. And as I mentioned in my overview video, I don't see any of the input outputs right here, so we're going to come up here to View and Input Outputs. Oh, now there's everything there. So that was kind of a good example, unplanned example, but good example. So in this particular case, the one thing that you do want to do just to save some resources, that way your CPU, that way you save your CPU, is if you have any open inputs like this and you're not recording, you want to go ahead and change them to none. And while you can do this in arrangement view, it is very tedious. So you come in here, and you're going to click that. You're going to click one track. You're going to do a shift click to highlight them all, and you're going to go no input. So now I have changed all of them with one click, and they're all set to no input. So real quick and easy. No issues there. And then audio output routing, like I mentioned in the overview video, these are the outputs to the particular interface. The interface that we use at church currently is a 10 output interface, so we have 10 different things being sent. If you have a smaller interface that doesn't have as many, then obviously you would kind of trim things down. You would group tracks and things like that to kind of limit what you're sending out. So the other thing to note is you see all these little pinkish circles right here. That means there's automation on that particular track, specifically on the volume. So we'll look at that when we get into arrangement view, but just know that if you see something here that has a pink triangle, a pink square, a pink circle, it means there's automation on that specific thing. When we get into weekend sets, you'll see it up here in the tempo, where there'll be different tempos, which means there'll be automation, and maybe in time signature as well. So just know that if you see that, that means there's automation on that particular track. So with that, that pretty much covers Session View. Like I said, there's not a lot that we do with Session View from a weekend worship perspective, but it does help building building tracks, building sets, and easier, faster, because you can see things from this way. And then, like I said, you can build the dry clicks, which is kind of cool. It kind of helps, especially if your laptop's available right there, and you have a way to key map and things like that. So, hope this was informative, and we'll see you in the next video.